Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to tonight's episode of Poetry Live. Tonight, I'm going to be reading some more from The Faerie Queene by Edmund Spenser. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hello, Jackson. Hello, Roger. Hello, Arcadina. Hello, Danny. Welcome, everyone. How are you doing on this evening? Hello, Caitlin. Hello, come in. Welcome, Kate. Welcome. I hope you're feeling very well. Hope you're excited to be here listening tonight. I am. I love reading The Faerie Queene. Hello, Queen. Hello, excellent. We have a queen and a lady in the house. That's the kind of audience that you want for a story like this. By the way, Queen, I've been waiting. I have been waiting for ages to be able to make that pun, having you and Danny here, so that I could have a lady and a queen here to listen to The Faerie Queene. So thank you for both turning up tonight. It meant I could make my pun. It would have been awful if you guys hadn't turned up, because then I'd have had to have gone to bed without having puns, and then I'd have been sad and crying. No good. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Wild. Come in, everyone. Gather around. You can tell I'm excited about this. The Faerie Queene is... Hello, Blanks. Hello, welcome. Good to see you again. The Faerie Queene is actually one of my favourite poems to read aloud, which is awesome because actually... Yes! I beat Madge. I have to say, I did see that Lars had shared the Madonna video, and I did look at that and went, oh, Madonna's live! But I beat Madonna, that's it. Take that, Queen of Pop. Hello, Blanks. Hello, how are you? How is Spain tonight? I hope it's well. Yes, I beat Madge. That makes me happy on many levels, Queen. Well, clearly Madonna doesn't have what she used to. I am a Madonna fan. No, I've had this... I've got 5 Madonna songs that I like, I think. So I can't call myself a proper fan. I liked Evita. Evita was good. There's some Madonna stuff that I like. It's hard not to like Madonna. She's done so much stuff. It was actually one of the first albums I ever bought. In fact, the music album by Madonna was the second CD I ever bought. First vinyl for Queen, second CD for me. Music was my second CD. First CD was Bon Jovi's Crush album, which I still listen to this day. That's a good album for the car. Then it was music by Madonna, and my third album, I think, was Enema for the State by Blink-182. By which you can probably guess, the year that I was buying CDs. Jovi's a good first to have, I think. I'm pleased with Crush being my first CD, which I bought before I even had a CD player. I used to play it off my parents' record system. Thank you. I like that, Danny. I like that. Simon's the Champagne Room. Well, without much further ado then, ladies and gents, let's get into the champagne for tonight as I continue doing The Faerie Queene by Edmund Spenser. We did a little bit of Spenser a few weeks back as we did the opening for The Faerie Queene, which is one of my favourite, which I discovered is actually one of my favourite poems to read aloud. When I studied it as a student, I hated it, couldn't stand reading it, but it was so much fun to read to you guys. For the start of it, we had the Knight of the Red Cross, who's gone off with a lady on a quest to slay the Red Dragon. And along the way, he's come across a monster in a dark, enchanted wood, and he has just slain the monster and all of its mutant, impious spawn. Now, the Knight of the Red Cross has got back up on his horse and is ready to set off again with the lady who is his guide. Then mounted upon his steed again, and with the lady backward sought to go. The path he kept which beaten was most plain, ne ever would to any byway bend, but still did follow one unto the end. The which at last out of the wood them brought, so forward on his way, with God to friend he passed forth, and new adventures sought. A long way he travelled, before he heard of aught. At length they chanced to meet upon the way an aged sir. In long black weeds he was clad, his feet all bare, his beard a hairy grey, and by his belt his book he hanging had. Sober he seemed, and very sagely sad, and to the ground his eyes were lowly bent, simple in show, and void of any malice or bad. And all the way he prayed as he went, and often knocked his breast, as one that did repent. He fair the knight saluted, calling low, who fair him answered, as that courteous was, and after asked him if he did know of strange adventures which abroad did pass. "Ah, my dear son," quoth he, "how should a lass, silly old man that lives in hidden cell, biding his prayers all day for his trespass, tidings of war and worldly trouble tell? With holy father sits not with such things to mell. But if of danger which hereby doth dwell, and homebred evil you desire to hear, of a strange man I can you tidings tell, that wasteth all this country fair and near. Of such, said he, I chiefly do enquire, and shall you well reward to show the place in which that wicked wight his days doth wear. For to all knighthood it's a foul disgrace that such a cursed creature lives so long a space. Far hence, quoth he, in desolate wilderness his dwelling is, by which no living creature may ever pass, but through great distress. Now, said the lady, draw toward night, and well I know of your later fight, for all for wearied be for what so strong but wanting rest, will also want of might. That sun that measures heaven all day long, all night doth bait, he steeds the ocean waves among. Then with the sun take, sir, your timely rest, and with new day, new work at once begin. Untroubled night, they say, gives counsel best. Right well, sir, knight, you've advised been. Quoth then the aged man, the way to win is wisely to advise now day is spent. Therefore with me you may take up your lodging for this same night. And the knight was well content, so with that goodly father to his home they went. A little lowly hermitage it was, down in a dale hard by a forest side, far from resort of people that did pass in travel to and fro, a little wide. There was a holy chapel edified, wherein the hermitage duly wont to say his holy tidings each morn, and eventide thereby a crystal stream did gentle play, which from a sacred fountain welled forth away. And arrived there, the little house they fill. No look for entertainment there none was, rest is their feast, and all things at their will. The noblest mind the best contentment has, with fair discourse the evening so they pass. For that old man of pleasing words had store, and well could fill his tongue as smooth as glass. He told of saints and popes, and evermore he strode an Ave Marie, after and before. Thus dropping night, thus creeping on them fast, and the sad humour loading their eyes' lids, a messenger of Morpheus on them cast. Sweet slumbering dew, the which to sleep them bides. Unto their lodging then his guests he rides, where when all downed in deadly sleep he finds, he to his study goes, and there, amid his magic books and arts of sundry kinds, he sought out mighty charms to trouble sleepy minds. Then, choosing out a few words most horrible, let none them read, thereof did verses frame, with which the other spells like terrible. He bade them awake black Pluto's grisly dame, and cursed heaven, and spoke reproachful shame of highest God, the Lord of life and light, a bold bad man that dared not call the name, great Gorgon, prince of darkness and dead night, at which Cocytus quakes and sticks his put to flight. And forth he called out of deep darkness dread legions of sprites, the which little flies fluttering about his ever-damned head. Await whereto their service he applied, to aid his friends or fray his enemies. Of those he chose out two, the falsest two, and fit for to forge true seeming lies. The one of them he gave a message to, the other by himself stayed with other work to do. He, making speedily through space to ire, and through the world of waters wide and deep, to Morpheus' house doth hastily repair, amid the bowels of the earth fully steeped. And lo, where dawning day doth never peep, his dwelling is there, where Tethys his wet bed doth ever wash, and Cynthia still doth steep in silver dew his ever-doping head, while sad night over him her mantle black doth spread, whose trouble gates he findeth lock fast, the one fair framed of burnished ivory, the other all with silver overcast, and wakeful dogs before them fair do lie, watching to banish care their enmity, who oft is wont to trouble gentle sleep. By them the sprite doth passing quietly, and unto Morpheus comes, whom drowned deep in drowsy fit he finds, of nothing that he takes keep, and more to lull him in his slumber soft. A trickling stream from a high rock tumbling down, and ever drizzling rain from the loft, mixed with a murmuring wind, much like the song of swarming bees, did cast him in a swoon. No other noise nor peopled troubled cries, as still are wont to annoy the walled town, might there be heard, but careless quiet lies, wrapped in eternal silence, far from enemies. The messenger approaching to him spoke, but his vast words returned him in vain. So soundly he slept that naught might him awake. Then rudely he him thrust and pushed with pain, whereat he gan to stretch. But he again shook him so hard that forced him to speak, as one then in a dream, whose drier brain is tossed with troubled sights and fancies weak. He mumbled soft, but would not all his silence break. The sprite then gained more boldly him to wake, and threatened unto him the dreaded name of Hecate, whereat he began to quake, and lifting up his lumpish head, which blame half angry hast him for what he came, hither, he quoth, he me Archimago sent, he that the stubbornest sprites can wisely tame. He bids thee to him to send for his intent a fit false dream that can delude the sleeper's scent. The god obeyed, and calling forth straightway a diverse dream out of his prison dark, delivered it to him, and down did lay his heavy head, devoid of careful cark, whose senses all were straight benumbed and stark. He back, returning by the ivory door, remounted up as light as cheerful lark, and on his little wings the dream he bore in haste unto his lord, where he left afore. Who all this while with charms and hidden art had made a lady of that other sprite, and feigned of liquid air her tender parties, so lively and so like in all men's sight, that weaker sense it could have ravished quite. The maker's self, for all his wondrous wit, was nigh beguiled with so goodly sight. Hair all in white he clad, and over it cast a black stole, most like to seem for Una fit. Now, when that idle dream was to him brought, unto that elfin night he bade him fly, where he slept soundly, void of evilly thought, and with false shows abused his fantasy, and sought as he him schooled privily. And that new creature, born without her due, full of the maker's guile, with usage sly, he taught to imitate the lady true, whose semblance she did carry under feigned hue. Thus, well instructed, to their work they hasten, coming where the knight in slumber lay. The one upon his hardy head him plast, and made him dream of loves and lustful play, that nigh his manly heart did melt away, bathed in wanton bliss and wicked joy. Then seemed him his lady by him lay, and to him plained how that false-winged boy her chest heart had subdued to learn Dame Pleasure's toy. And she, herself of beauty, sovereign queen, fair Venus, seemed unto his bed to bring her, who he waking evermore did think to be a chaste flower, that aye did spring on earthly branch, the daughter of a king, now a loose paramour to vile service bound. And also the graces seemed all to sing hymen to hymen, dancing all around, whilst freshest Flora her with ivy girland crowned. In this great passion of unwanted lust, or wanted fear of doing aught amiss, he started up, as seeming to mistrust some secret ill or hidden foe of his. Lo, there before his face his lady is, under Blake's stole hiding her betrayed hook, and as half blushing offered him to kiss, with gentle blandishment and lovely look, most him that virgin true, which for her knight him took. All clean dismayed to see so uncouth sight, and half enraged at her shameless guise, he thought to have slain her in his first despite. But hasty heat tempering with patience wise, he stayed his hand, and gained himself to advise and prove his sense, and tempt her feigned truth, wringing his hands in Wayman's piteous wise. Though then did she weep to stir up gentle pity, both for her noble blood and her tender youth. And there we leave it for the night, ladies and gents. That good knight of the Red Cross, laying down in the hermit's house, to be tormented by nightmares sent by the realm of Morpheus, nightmares that have transformed into dreams of kissing beautiful ladies, who when he's awoken from his dream, this hermit has gone, and the beautiful woman is before him. The knight tempted to slay her, but staying his hand out of pity when she weeps. Oh, I sense an enchantress on the loose in this tale, ladies and gents. I sense a sorceress most foul pervading into the dreams of goodly knights. And at some point we'll go back into the Faerie Queene and explore more of what's in there. I think I might do a couple more. I might play around with some of the longer poems this week and give you some extracts. I was thinking of doing some Ovid and some Beowulf as well this week. I'll post links to them. I think we've been doing short poems for quite a while, and I do enjoy mixing up and going for the long ones. So we'll do some short ones. We'll do one short one this week. I think we'll do some Houseman, some Ovid, and some Beowulf. Which translation, Jackson? Which translation of Beowulf? I love Beowulf, and I like my different translations. Oh, the Heaney. The Heaney is... I've had this discussion with Paul. The Heaney is my favourite, but for one thing. Heaney translates too much for me. Heaney translates everything, and there are some wonderful archaic Old English words that I think he should keep in there. I'm glad, Taz, I'm glad you're enjoying the Old Middle English of the Faerie Queene. It's not for everyone, and I'm aware that some people might have difficulty with it, but I quite like it. It's not... I think in reading it, it's not as hard as it might seem. I think you can kind of follow what's going on there. And I do try to translate some of the tougher words as we go through. But that should be fun. I will do some Shaney Beowulf this week. It is fun. It is. Even if he translates Weirgild. Keep Weirgild in the English language. I should almost do a Change the Old campaign to keep that thing. Really? Wow, Kathy, that must have been very, very expensive and a beautiful book indeed. Absolutely. But yes, that was... I'm only going to do an extract. I'm only going to do an extract, Jackson. We can divvy it up between us. I'm sure. I might just do the opening with a tale of the Whale Road and the Goths coming into Denmark. I think that one I might go and do tomorrow. Wow, fabulous, Kathy. That sounds like a wonderful, wonderful book to have. Hello, Andrew, by the way. I didn't see you hiding down there. And hello, Jay. Welcome, guys. I hope you did that. There we go, splitting it up nicely. Grendel's mum, the dragon. Actually, what we could do, Jackson, which might be fun, is actually to try and do, if we could find the time for it, to do it as a relay race, and try and cover Beowulf between the three of us. On Blab or something, and do it as a one long Blab, which might need a bit of planning because it's still a hefty bit of reading to do, but that could be fun at some point, doing a relay race. I know it's in everybody's... I have seen it many times, Kathy. I love going there. It's going to a wee bit of planning, but we could do it. But yeah, past the cast of Beowulf, so we could just relay our way through Beowulf and do an epic retelling of Beowulf on Blab, which could be really fun. I think that's a thing, something that we could look into, and is worth chatting about. Well, that might be something for the Facebook group that I might go and post I haven't really posted properly in the Facebook group. Tonight I will post properly in the Facebook group. And we can talk about doing that, because I know Paul's been tempted to do it. Oh, don't worry about that, Jackson. I can't pronounce half the names and things that I read. I mean, Le Morte d'Arthur is awful for having obscure, medieval French names popping up out of you out of the blue. Just going for it with gusto. As long as you can get Beowulf and Grendel sorted, the rest just falls into place. I say don't get too caught up with not being able to pronounce the nuances of these words. They are all up for grabs, all good fun. So let's do that, guys. Jackson, I don't think you're in our Facebook group. Jackson, I will tweet you a link to the Facebook group, and then in the Facebook group we could chat. That is Lars's neck of the wood. Lars and I have discussed such things before. I think it would sound awesome with a southern twang. I think it could actually be really fascinating hearing everybody with all their different languages coming across and doing this. That could actually work and be a really interesting way. If he says, we're looking for his Facebook group. I can't find the group now, but I know the group is somewhere. Yeah, it could be fun, wouldn't it, Susan? It could be all of us pitching in, everybody having slightly different accents to approach it. I think that would more than make up for any issues with that. Excellent. Right then, I'm going to go and post it in the group, but I can use Facebook to find my group. Oh, there we go. I found the group. Right, I will go and post it in the group. Let's try and organise something. Can we go and organise a day of Beowulf and all come in for different time slots and just relay race it through and pick a translation? Probably the Heaney one. I think the Heaney one's probably the easiest for most people to get access to. And then that could be really, really fun. And could work well. Because I think one of the things that Andrew and I were chatting about on his show, I've chatted to Paul about this in the past, is about what we can do to make poetry a bit more accessible for people. Because I think it's probably fair to say that one of the nice things about doing these shows is that poetry can sometimes be very excellent. Well, two peas in a pod. There we go, Susan. You should post a picture of you in this thing so we can do like a mail. That's it. Post a picture, Susan, of yourself wearing that thing. I'll do mine, and we'll do like a merge of the two of us together. Half Susan, half me. That could be fun. But yeah, we should be doing poetry for all. And I know that Avery, for when she watches this on replay, Avery is a teacher, just like you are, Jackson. And Carly, who hasn't been in for a while, but I know Carly was a teacher as well. And I think the nice thing is this does make poetry more accessible for people. It makes it more accessible for students and for kids. And if we could do something together, all of us, not just you and that, but I mean Taz, Susan, if all of us here could come together and do a couple of pages of Beowulf, I think that could make it really, really interesting. And I think that might be a good way of making poetry a bit more accessible for folk. It can be fun. And for us to actually say you don't need to have all the pronunciations, you don't need to have done your PhD in medieval studies, you don't have to be a specific person. Anybody can enjoy that poem. I'm getting really excited about this. Well, Susan, we can. I think it would be. You don't have to do it if you don't want to do it, but I think it would be wonderful for. Nobody has to do it who doesn't want to do it. It would only be for those of you who would be willing to do it. But I think it might be nice to see some different folk come in and get involved with poetry. Just show the book. That could work. That could work. Like this. I haven't had a stalker yet. I think I'm feeling a bit, actually, yeah. I can't believe I haven't had a stalker yet. Unless I have, but they're just being very, very secretive about it. That's always a possibility. I could actually have somebody disguised as a sheep outside my house right now. You never know. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry you had a stalker, Susan. That must be awful. I'm sorry you had a stalker. It's not nice. We get trolls in here sometimes, but we seem to do a good job of troll policing. No, stalker's not good. Oh, that's a shame, Susan. We don't want any of that. Well, they have appeared out of nowhere, Danny. I still need to do. The point is, every time I get home at night, it's too dark to do a picture of those sheep. I need to get out there, Danny, and get some sheep selfies. Me plus some sheep for you. Do it, Susan. I think that takes a lot of courage. That's very courageous. Get back on the horse and go and do it. Yes, not now, Susan. Not whilst driving. Not whilst driving. Really? Queen, that's really interesting. And I've seen. I have to say, I have noticed that female scopes tend to get a lot worse for trolls and dodgy comments in there. The male scopes tend not to get them so much, apart from occasionally weirdos who want to know why I'm reading poetry. Because it's fun. You read poetry because it's fun. I think we just got a nice group of people here. Oh, Susan going. Bye bye, Susan. But yes, I'm gonna pop into the Facebook group, get started on suggesting, and possibly organising. Can we? Yes. I think you might be right there, Jackson. Putting poetry in the title might do something to ward some folk off. Heaven knows why. I think it should encourage more people to come and join. Well, there we go. I have to say, the one, when I put naked in the title, I did get a lot. My naked one got a lot of folk coming in, and we did have some trolls in amongst that. Unsurprisingly. So yeah, naked attracted trolls, but just doing this as poetry, not so much. Possibly something to learn from that. Oh, Danny, that's not true. That's not true. I'm sure that's not true. But yes, that's it. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on now, because I'm aware other folk have other scopes to get to, and Jackson might be doing some more poetry scoping tonight, which would be great. No, this isn't a replay, Carolina. Carolina, you're catching this live, Carolina, live. Yes, with a very enthusiastic Simon. As always. Fortunately, Jackson, I'm not having to depend on toddlers or anything like that. But we'll see. We'll see what's coming up. I'm going to go and spend a bit of time. I'm aware that I've been a bit lax on social media recently, so I want to spend a bit of time making sure the Facebook group has got some stuff in there. Have you? Danny, I don't understand what it's because it won't. For some reason, Facebook doesn't want us to be friends, and I can't understand. There's no add button, Danny. I don't get a friend button. It's really annoying. Because I keep going to your profile and trying to add you, and you're not there. Which is possibly. Yes, Carolina, some people still use Facebook. Some people. We set up a Facebook group on there last week. For those of us who don't still, I need to update my picture actually. I need to update a proper picture. Well, some folk, we've got a Facebook group for there just in case anyone does want to use it. But I need to get much better at doing more on social media anyway. Yes! I should, Andrew. You're quite right. That could be fun. That's right, Danny. You are a celeb. Anytime now you're going to be on Celebrity Apprentice or that jungle program. I don't watch any TV. There's a jungle program. Like, get me out of the. Oh God. Like the jungle program. The jungle program. I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here. That program. You could be on that any day now. Personally, I'm still holding out. That perhaps, if we get to, more than 200 people watching an episode, I might get invited to do Strictly. I know my mother's holding out that I would get onto Strictly. Or Dancing with the Stars, as it's known over in the US. But yes, Strictly or Dancing with the Stars, that's my aim for my celebrity fame, that I want to be famous enough to get onto Strictly and to get to halfway through. I think if I can get halfway through, I'll be good. Good night, Candyman. Take care. It's great to see you. Yes, Strictly. Because then, because they've got somebody from Grimsby already on there. I could have Simon from Grimsby dancing with the dancer from Grimsby. We could have double Grimsby taking place on there. That could be kind of cool. We're getting no votes, but it's fine. And my dancing is terrifying, I've been told. But hey, I can learn. I'll do a foxtrot. I'll look good in coat and tails. At least I tell myself I will. I'd like to have a top hat. I would like to do a Fred Astaire. If we get onto Strictly and do a Fred Astaire number, I'd be happy. I'm a celebrity within these four walls, and the sheep outside like me. I'm not falling for that one, Queen. They do have an opening. Maybe. I just need to stay near the phone. I'll get the phone call any day now. I'll get on there. Top hat and tails. And yeah, I'll be dancing cheek to cheek in no time. That's all I want. A Fred Astaire number on Strictly. And yeah, dreams come true at that point in time. Anyway, I'm going to pop off, ladies and gents. I'm going to stop rambling at you and go and do some stuff. To try, I'd like to do, some. I think I possibly enjoy the ballroom stuff more. Though I would like to go and do a paso doble. I would like to do a paso doble and do the whole. And I think actually, looking at myself doing that paso doble impression, I'm never doing the paso doble. The paso doble just isn't my dance. I'll stick to the Viennese waltz, guys. Anyway. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for coming tonight. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same back channel tomorrow. Danny, we will continue with Les Morts d'Arthur, and I will read some Beowulf as well. And in the meantime, I will go and do some stuff. Well, yeah, I think I'd like the drama of the paso doble. I'm not sure if I can keep a straight face, though. You have to be very serious. I'm not that serious, ever. But anyway, I'm going to pop off, go and update the Facebook group, and we'll think about how to do Beowulf all the way through. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Thank you, Andrew and Danny. Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Jackson and Queen. Thank you, Kathy, Taz and Carolina. It's been wonderful to see you tonight, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow as well.